Welcome to Harmonized Household, episode 2.
Episode 2.
We're in the second episode, and I am your host, Brian. On my left, my lovely wife, my co-host, Jessica, or Jess.
Jess.
I'm not allowed.
Jessica always feels like I'm getting yelled at.
I'm not allowed to use her name at all, so Jess or Jessica always seems weird to me.
Yeah, I'm babe to you. Jess to the rest of the world.
Else but your name.
Mm-hmm.
So today we might ruffle some feathers with you guys.
We're definitely gonna piss some people off. Some people are gonna relate to this. Some people aren't gonna agree to this. And if you don't agree to this, that's fine. I feel like our podcast isn't gonna be for everybody. But there's people out there who could definitely relate.
Listen, we can't cater to everyone. Not everyone's going to like what you say. Not everyone's going to like what you think. And it is what it is.
And that's fine.
We were having this discussion before we started. And you told me, listen, not everyone's going to like our opinions. Not everyone's going to relate to what we have to say. And that's fine.
He didn't want it to come off a certain way, but I'm telling him none of our topics are ever going to be to attack anybody, come at anybody. That's just not our personality. It's not who we are. But, we're going to feel how we feel. Mm-hmm. And that's it. And some people are going to agree. Some people aren't going to agree. And that's fine. And if you don't agree, if you don't like the conversation, you don't have to tune in. That's okay.
Yeah, you can scroll.
Yeah. No hard feelings.
Someone else or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was just a little full disclosure. Because I was having a hard time. I'm like, damn, we can't really say this, but we're not saying things for clickbait. We're not trying to,
we're not trying to be those people. We want to be as authentic as possible. We want to say what's on our mind, how we feel. And honestly, we want to have the same type of conversation on here that we do behind closed doors with one another. Mm-hmm. We want to be pretty open about it.
We're not trying to be controversial. We're just trying to
be ourselves.
And
talk about real life.
Give you our 2 cents, whether you want it or not, whatever. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, last night's conversation was fire, man. I wish sometimes that there was like hidden cameras and hidden microphones. Mm-hmm. It was me, you, and her brother, my brother-in-law, and we were having this just fire conversation. It was so bad that he had to be somewhere.
And he was like 2 hours late.
He was late, but I mean, that's, we already know.
He's trying to change that.
Anyway, that was a fire conversation.
But yeah, we'll talk about that one day.
Yeah. But what we want to really get into today is basically, we always talk about how the importance of dating and getting to know who you want to spend the rest of your life with.
In order to find
your person.
Mm-hmm. Dating, we feel like dating itself is very important in order to find the right person for you.
And it's hard though, too. Dating.
It's super hard. And I feel like nowadays it's like extremely hard to date.
You have so many options, from social media, dating apps, work, friends. It's crazy.
It's hard. And people are like ruthless. I hate to say it, but some people are ruthless. The dating game, I'm kind of glad I'm out of that world,
but yeah, no, it's ugly out there, man. It's ugly.
It's a cold place.
It's cold outside.
It's hard, but that's not to steer anyone away from.
No, I mean, listen, if you're single, I personally think that you should be dating someone not out of comfort.
Yeah, so getting back to what we really want to talk about today is not just the importance of dating, but we feel like the reason why it's so important to date is because there are people, and we're guilty of it, we have experience in this,
100%, that
start dating really young, at a really young age, and they kind of just settle in that relationship, and that relationship becomes their lifelong partner, without really getting out there in the real world.
They feel like they have to stick it out. With this person. They've been together for
so long. It's like, obviously, the longer you spend with somebody, the more comfortable you become, and the harder it becomes to leave, because you've built and you have so much history with this person, and you've probably been through a lot, being that you were so young. Like, let's say you started dating at 18 and then now you're like 25, that's 7 years of history that you have with someone. And you've probably been through a lot of the toxic phases and you've kind of pulled out of there. There's a lot that's happened.
That's a long time.
And it's a long time. But then you get to be 25 and we feel like a lot of those relationships don't necessarily work out in the long run. And this isn't to say that just because you're with your partner right now, and maybe you guys started dating when you were 15 and now you guys are like 30. This isn't to say that your marriage is
15 years.
Yeah. I mean, we know people like that.
15.
Yeah.
That's
we know people like that. I don't know why he looks so surprised. That's not to say that you guys don't love each other and there isn't like high school sweethearts out there. Like, I personally know high school sweethearts who are still madly in love, and it happens. But there's a difference of always remaining in love with somebody or just staying in a relationship because you've invested so much time, energy into this person and just sticking it out for that reason because you're fearful of what's on the other side if you leave this person, and you're scared that you're probably not going to find somebody like this person. This person has accepted all your flaws and X, Y, and Z, and you're afraid that you're not going to find that one person that you're kind of looking
too.
for.
If you like just being comfortable, we feel like it leads to just self-destruction in a lot of ways. You kind of lose yourself. You lose sight of where you want to go.
And let's be honest, when you're 18 years old, you don't even know what direction you want to take your life in.
And so trying to figure out who you want to spend the rest of your life with.
Yeah. And not even 18. You could be 17, 16. You're still finding yourself when you're that age, let alone like who you are with someone else. You know what I mean?
And I feel like it's important to just find out who you are, what you want, and being aware of your situation, basically knowing that, okay, I've been with this person for X amount of time. It's a really long time. Besides the comfortability and everything else, does that person check all the boxes that you want in your husband or your wife? Does that person, meet everything, all of your requirements, whatever they are? Everyone differs, but whatever they are, does that person meet everything that you want?
Yeah, because again, when you're 17, 18 years old, your check boxes are very different from 25, 30 years old. What you want, all those wants and needs, they change so much. And we speak on this topic because we're both coming from a place that
not recently, but
we've experienced.
We've had that in our life. We've experienced what we're
being in long-term relationships and kind of just being in them because we've spent so much time with this person and we've been through a lot with this person, because those years are really crucial in your life. You're going to go through a lot in those years to kind of grow and be who you are later on in life, I
always said that your late teens, early 20s, even into your late 20s, and I'm sure people have heard this before, are your years where you can take the most risk with everything. You want to try different jobs, different major in school, or, you want to change careers. You want to, date someone else. You want to move to a different country or different state. Those are the years where you can actually take those type of risks. Because as you get older, I mean, generally speaking, you start to, have a family, have kids, and your life just kind of moves in a different way. You can't just pick up and go and say, hey, I'm moving to California tomorrow. Where, if you're 21, you can do those things. So those years, if you, in my opinion, if you're with someone throughout those years, and the only reason why you're with that person is because you're comfortable with that person, because you've known that person for a certain amount of time.
So long, I feel like that kind of holds
yourself a disservice, because unless you truly believe, okay, this person's going to be with me, like, this is my person that I can see myself with for the rest of my life, which happens again. I don't think very often, but it happens.
I don't think it's very often, but it does happen.
It does. It does happen. But unless that's the case, you have to be aware enough to know, okay, listen, you're a great person, but I can't do this anymore.
You've grown apart. And I mean, I also feel like if you have any of those thoughts of like, what would my life be like if I wasn't with this person? Or you even have the slightest inclination that like maybe this person isn't for me, then you need to listen to that voice inside your house, inside your mind, and get out.
Just leave.
Because if you think that you're just going to sweep it under the rug, just go, man. Just run.
Just go.
Man. If you think you're going to sweep it under the rug and you're never going to feel like that again, and you're going to stick it out, get married, do the whole nine, I hate to break it to you, but like 10 years, 15, 20, however long, those thoughts are going to pop right back up and you're not going to be happy. You're just kind of
it's wild
hiding the problem.
It's wild that you say that, because I had a conversation with one of my friends during a time in my life where I felt that I wasn't going to find another person like this person. And my friend looked at me and was like, bruh, are you kidding me right now? Like, I wish I was in your position.
Yeah. And how old were you at the time?
I was 30. 30?
30? 30 years old. And then how long were you guys?
I gotta put my age out there.
I mean, it's not like everybody does.
Yeah, it was later on in my life. And I felt like, man.
And how long were you already with that person?
Oh my God. Like on and off combined, like maybe 10 plus years.
Yeah, that's a long time to have somebody in your life.
And I'm over here thinking, and my friend, my boy's looking at me like, bro, I wish I was you. You're good. And I'm like, I don't know how. But lo and behold, through time and through just like, faith and just leaving it up to the higher power, I was fine. 1,000%. It was probably the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me. One of the greatest things that could have ever happened to me.
Same.
So yeah, you just have to have that confidence to know that, you know what, if we do part ways, it's going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
You have to be confident in yourself.
Yeah.
1,000%. You have to be confident. I know it's hard because all you know is that person, and all you know, like the person that you know yourself is the person in that relationship. You don't know yourself outside of this relationship because it's been so long. And I was guilty of that. Like when I broke up with my ex, and again, this isn't to bash anybody. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this that knows who we're talking about. This is definitely not to bash anybody. When I broke up with my ex, I realized like I lost my train of thought. Oh my God. I think I did this in the other one too.
Did you? All right.
Did I?
All right. If you realize that when you're with someone that's toxic, or not even just toxic, just someone that doesn't really fulfill your needs and doesn't make you happy anymore.
Yeah.
You were self-aware enough in that situation.
You have to be confident. So once we ended, I was aware that, okay, I felt like I knew that in my heart, I made the right decision, but don't get me wrong. Like I was still fearful because I'm like, at the time I was like reaching like my mid-20s, and you start thinking like, especially as a woman, we have, unfortunately, time is against us, not with us. Unfortunately. And so I remember, I'll never forget this day. I was taking a shower and I remember just thinking to myself, like, I know I made the right decision, but like, what if I don't find somebody? Like, what if I do find somebody, but then we're like dating for X amount of time. Then by the time we actually get married, it'll be X amount of time. And then by the time I want to have children, it'll be like, is it going to be too late for me? Is it even the cards for me? Like you start questioning yourself so much. But then as time goes on, the beginning is really hard, I feel like, because again, you're learning who you are without this person. But as time goes on, you start to realize like it's the best decision for you. You feel free. You start to learn who you really are as an adult. Because again, when you started dating, you were so young, and now you're an adult and you're learning all of these new things about yourself, what you like, what you don't like, what you really, and then you start thinking about like, you know what, going forward, I'm not going to tolerate X, Y, and Z. Going forward, I don't want this, or going forward, I want this, and then you have to have patience because obviously somebody's not going to come knocking at your door like
Or
the
sliding to your
next day
DMs.
or sliding in your DMs the next day. But
Maybe.
I just had faith that I was going to find somebody and I was going to find the right person. And then this guy came along.
But no, seriously, that's the negative thoughts creep into your head when you're going through like a breakup.
It's fear of the unknown. It's like
you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to be single for 6 months or 6 years.
and you'll even question whether or not you made the right decision.
Yeah.
I didn't, but I know that those thoughts do cross your mind. Like, did I make the right decision leaving that person? You know, you're constantly questioning yourself in the beginning, but it's better to let go because if you weren't happy to begin with in that relationship anymore, you're not going to be happy years down the road. I like promise you're not.
You can try and convince yourself, but it's just not going to happen. It's just like two magnets, opposites don't attract, right? They say opposites attract, but if you take, never mind. I was trying to make an analogy, and sometimes my analogies are trash, but
there's also going to be people, I want to like just throw this in there real quick. There's also going to be people who are like, no, stick it out. You know, you guys have been together for so long. You're going to have those voices too that are going to make you feel like the choice that you're making is not the right choice.
Sometimes it's
you
family.
You have to follow your heart. It is.
Sometimes it's family, and sometimes you start to, again, you second guess yourself. But no one knows you and your feelings better than you.
Better than you, yeah.
No one knows what you want better than you. Just like they say, no one's going to look out for you better than you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to look out for yourself, man. You have to realize, like, yo, this ain't working. I don't want this. Because if you just continue to snowball and that snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you go through with, the marriage and the house and the kids, and now we're together for 15 plus years, you are going to regret it so much. And you are going to, there's like, we see it all the time. We see people, friends, family, whatever, that just don't look happy. And they project their unhappiness onto you.
Yeah, because misery loves company.
Yeah, so they're projecting how they truly feel deep down onto you and onto other people. And it's just, you just slowly, you're like slowly dying inside.
Yeah.
You can't,
and you're the only one who has to live with that.
Yeah, if you're not happy yourself, then you're not going to be, no one else is going to make you happy. So you have to be self-aware. You have to have the confidence to know, like, listen, I'm going to be okay. That person's going to be okay. We're good. We're going to go our separate ways. Yeah. And
honestly, sometimes the people that we date, they're not going to be your forever people. No. Let's be real. Sometimes you have to date certain people, and those people are going to prepare you for the right person. Right or wrong? Yeah. Why are you laughing?
I'm just laughing because it's so messed up.
Oh.
It's so messed up for... Man, I'll be feeling bad. Listen.
He feels so bad. Listen, you can't...
I feel bad for the things that I've done.
You are not responsible for how someone else feels.
No. I know. But I've talked to you about this before. Yeah. I feel bad about the things that I've done to the women that I've dated. She sips her tea as I'm saying this. And I've told her this before. And I actually said...
There's honestly probably nothing that I know about his past or that I don't know about his past. So there's probably people watching this like, sis,
you don't even know. Now she knows. Believe me, she knows.
And I'm sorry that was you.
She might know a little too much, but listen, I decided to be an open book, and I said, yo, listen, I'm gonna tell her everything that I've done, with the good, the bad, the not so good, the in between, everything, because that's the only way to really get to know a person. And she's done the same. So I was telling her, like, I just feel bad. I feel bad for the things that I've done. And like, to your point, sometimes you date people to learn things from, and you don't necessarily end up with that person. But unfortunately, someone always gets hurt.
This is true.
This is true. And it's not funny. I'm laughing because it's like, damn, I feel like I want to give like remember I told you this? I was like, I just want to give a full blown apology.
Mm-hmm.
Not to anyone specific, just a general apology
To all.
to all.
To all.
To all. I apologize for the man that I used to be, or the boy, whatever you want to call me.
He did. He's talked about it because you grow. I mean, you really do grow as a person. You should grow as a person.
Yeah, you should. Sometimes you grow a little later,
You know, and sometimes you make mistakes.
Or multiple
mistakes. You go through a phase in your life, and men are very guilty of this. I mean, women are too, but I feel like majority are men. And we talk about this all the time, that a lot of men, they play with women's emotions, and it's not right. It's wrong. It's really wrong. You do create like pain for people. You create trust issues, and you can prevent people from actually finding that person because of the trauma that they went through.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you go through these things. It sucks in the moment, but it's also building character for you in the long run. You know, you can't, because you can't, if you're treated like a princess 24/7, you're going to trust everyone. You're always going to trust everyone. You're never going to have your guard up. And that's very naive.
It is.
You know, so sometimes you get hurt, and this could be in a relationship with a man. This can be a friendship. This can be anything. You've got to learn, you know, from the pain that you go through, unfortunately.
Yeah. But yeah, some people are just meant to be in your life to teach you something.
For that next person.
And just like the lottery, there can only be one winner, man. Right?
Say it again. Say it for the people in the back. So the people in the back can hear it.
There can only be one winner, man. Many will play, only one will win.
That's right.
All right,
no, just kidding.
I'm kidding, man. I always joke. I'm a jokester. If anyone knows me, I'm always laughing. I'm always joking. But yeah, that's what we wanted to just kind of talk about, is just be aware of who you're with. Analyze.
And if you're not happy, move on.
Just move on, man.
I know it's easier said than done, but
way easier.
If you
and sometimes
feel in your heart it's time to move on, don't be afraid. You need to do it for yourself. Don't let anyone get in your head, make you question your decision. You need to put your happiness, you need to prioritize your happiness, actually.
Yeah. And some people are in a deeper, I guess, situation, more convoluted situation than others, because, excuse me, it's not as simple as, hey, we're boyfriend and girlfriend and we live together. There are some people that are in a relationship that aren't happy, that are married, have a house, have children, and so they probably feel like themselves, like, yo, I can't just get up and leave.
Obviously, situations like that are a lot different. There's a lot at risk. Yeah.
So we're not saying, hey, yo, listen,
bounce tomorrow,
get divorced, leave your kids. We're not saying that either.
No.
I'm talking more to the younger generation. Everyone that, the people that are in their late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, late 20s, like, yo, listen, we could talk about this in another podcast, in another episode, but I believe that you, as a man, you should probably get married later on in life. You shouldn't get married in your 20s. Does it work out? I'm saying that it doesn't work out when you're in your 20s and you get married? No, that's not what I'm saying, because I know people who are in a successful marriage that got married when they were in their 20s. That's fine. That works. Are a
lot of men ready in their 20s?
Probably not. But anyway, that's a whole nother episode for another time. Do you want to get anything else off? Do you want to talk to the...
No, just for the women out there, or even for the men out there. Again, if you're not happy, you need to accept that, which is probably the hardest part, is accepting that little voice in your head, being like, listen, if I'm thinking like this for X amount of time, I should probably pay attention to that, because time, you will never get time back.
Time is gone.
I'm serious. You will never get that time back. But you grow and you learn from your mistakes. So you can't change the past. You can only obviously change your future. But I have nothing really more to say other than it is so important. I can't
what?
It is so important to do life with the right person.
Oh yeah. Nah, 100%. I couldn't have done the path that we're on now, like I said last night, yo, that conversation last night was so fire, man.
We're gonna talk about it. And we'll probably bring him on here.
I don't think you can recreate a conversation like that.
No, we can't recreate, but we can speak on the topic again.
I know, but oh man, I even thought about it last night. But anyway, I don't think I would have been on this path with anyone else. And if I was, it wouldn't have worked out. It wouldn't have been this, definitely wouldn't have been the same. But with you, it just feels 1000% natural. Like this is what's supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But doing life with the right person it's paramount.
Yeah, 100%. And this isn't to paint a picture like, oh, you're going to find the right person. It's going to be like sunshines and rainbows all the time, because that is not true. He pisses me off all the freaking time.
We're far from perfect. We're not perfect.
We argue like everyone else. We are not perfect whatsoever. But at the end of the day, I still look at him and I'm still like, you're my person. And I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else.
Same. So make sure you guys and women, make sure you just get that self-awareness up. Just know if you want to stay or you want to go. Should I stay or should I go?
Should I stay or should I go? Does it go like that?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, coincidentally, my wife made me a cup of tea. I don't really drink
purposely
tea.
made it like that in that mug.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow. I thought it was going to be coincidence. Never mind.
I got the mugs that say cute little sayings. Like mine says, we rise by lifting others.
She ruined it. She asked me if I wanted tea, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. And she made it in this mug, Hustle Juice. I thought it was pretty convenient. Or I thought it was a coincidence, but never mind.
No, I purposely
Was
did.
it?
Sorry to break your
But yeah, that's it, guys. That's episode 2. We got 2 in the books. We're like, again, we're gonna not. I'm gonna eliminate the word "try" from my vocabulary. We are
going
going
into
to
2024. We are not saying those words.
We're gonna drop a new episode every week, once a week, every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just gonna be about stuff like what we were just talking about: relationships, just everyday struggles, life experiences, and things that may or may not pertain to you or you can relate to. You may like it, you may not, you may think it's whatever.
Listen, also, if anyone out there listening has some juicy topics that you want us to talk about, let us know, because I definitely want this podcast to get
They're gonna ask
juicy.
They're gonna want to ask questions like,
ask us anything about the past or marriage, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're an open book. I'm not shy.
We're not gonna get too personal though.
Get personal enough. Ask us some juicy
Personal
questions.
enough. Not too personal though, but yeah, that's it, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you follow us. This is going to be posted on YouTube, but a short form versions are going to be on TikTok. Follow us on TikTok. We created a new page
specifically for our podcast.
Share this with anyone you think that might want to hear this or might need to hear it.
That too. Might need to hear it.
Yeah. And listen, we don't claim to know everything. We're not over here like some relationship gurus. We're not over here claiming that we're perfect and we got it all figured out, because we don't. We're just sharing our experiences, especially me, because I'm up there in age.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I've seen some things. And we just want to share our experiences with you guys. And if it can help you, great.
Yeah. Not only our experiences, but our thoughts. Obviously, we kind of want to talk to you guys like we're having a conversation. So definitely, drop some comments. Let us know what you thought about the episode. Let us know your experiences. If you can relate, if you can't relate, just let us know.
Yeah. So
that's it.
Catch us every Monday. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.